Okay, well, here we are. We are celebrating Women's History Month, and I have the honor to be interviewing some amazing, strong, smart, savvy, and wonderful women who stand out in their field of business and work. And today I'm interviewing this wonderful woman named Malak. Malak, would you please tell everyone who you are, what you're about, maybe professionally and a little bit personally?
Of course. First and foremost, thank you so much for having me, Monica. I'm humbled to be here. And honored to be a part of um, this interview. A little bit about me. So my name is Malak El-haj. I am a first generation Arab American. I'm the first person in my family to graduate from college. So it's
That's
been
awesome.
yes, thank you so much. I actually just recently, a couple of months ago, graduated with my master's in business administration. So it's been a long time coming for sure. Professionally, I have experience in human resources and recruiting, as well as some project management. And then personally, when I'm not working, I love cheering my son on at his games and volunteering whenever I can.
That's awesome. Very, very cool. So I can relate to that. You spinning mother and professional plates, especially when you're out there and you're just doing many things, doing all the things.
Absolutely.
So yeah. So my first question for you, aside from that, is about who inspires you. I know that as a female, and as looking back in my history and history in general, there's certain people that stand out as really being great inspirations. And so, who, if you were asked who that is for you, who would you say maybe one or two of those people are?
Yeah, so for me, the first person that comes to mind would actually be my mom. And she inspires me in more ways than one. We
Mm-hmm.
lost my father in 2005, and she took on the role of mom and dad and raised all four of us, me and my three brothers. My youngest brother was 5 at the time, so she went from taking the little bit of English that she knew, and she went to work and hustled and grinded and gave us the best life that we could have asked for. And she never gave
Hmm.
up. And to me, she's the definition of not just inspirational, but she's also the definition of resilience.
That's awesome. I love that. And I love that word. It's one of my favorites. So thank you for sharing that. And she does sound like a wonderful, wonderful woman.
Mhm.
So I have heard a lot about you from Greg, and I do believe you stand out in your field, in your industry, and who you are really does stand out. Even just speaking to you in a short period of time before this meeting, I can see that you really do have a light inside of you and a strength that I'm sure shines anywhere you are. And so my question for you, is relating to that, because I know that no one, male or female or anything, no one can get to that point without having overcome some things. We're all human. We all have hurdles. We all have things that we need to jump through or overcome. What would you say? And this can relate to being a woman, or it doesn't have to be at all. But what would you say are some of, or one of the biggest hurdles that you've had to jump over or kind of be resilient yourself through?
Yeah, absolutely. First, shout out to Greg. He is awesome. It was an amazing time meeting him when he was out here in Chicago. And you as well, Monica. The entire team is phenomenal. So thank you. I would say one of the hurdles that I've had to overcome throughout my career has been just kind of having to have to prove myself over and over and over again. I
Mm,
think one thing that's definitely been challenging for me was constantly being challenged on whether or not my ideas would succeed and then how to
mhm,
present them. So sometimes I think they'd get brushed off. And then one approach that I felt seemed to be working was presenting a visual, because I'm such a visual individual. So coming prepared and willing to answer questions and provide and get feedback from the leaders that I was presenting to. And I think it was always very challenging because I feel like a lot of my other male counterparts, and even just counterparts in general, they didn't necessarily have those challenges. So for me, it was always like, you got to work extra hard to kind of make
mm,
sure your voice is also heard and your ideas are heard and shared. And
mm.
I'm one of those people who loves to kind of look at things through a different lens sometimes, because I feel
Mm-hmm.
like there's always room for improvement. So I like to kind of see how we can make processes more efficient and how we can kind of
Mm-hmm.
excel in different areas. So when I'm able to do that, I love to share those ideas, and people who are willing to listen, I love getting their feedback. So that's definitely been a hurdle, but it's been one of those hurdles that have been a blessing in disguise, because it's forced me to kind of take a different approach and be able
Mm-hmm.
to be prepared for those challenges that came.
Yes. Wonderful. Okay, so final question here that I have for you in this interview, and it has to do with inspiring others. So, how would you, what advice, let me phrase it that way, what advice would you give to somebody who is aspiring to be a leader, aspiring to find their voice and be resilient themselves?
Yeah, I think for me, I look back and I'm like, what could I have done differently when I was younger? And I think one thing that I think about that I've noticed now as I'm a little bit older, that I've noticed is that the people you surround yourself around have a huge impact on how far you can come in, you can be in, you can come in life. And for me,
Mhm,
it makes a big difference. You want to be around people who want to see you succeed, and don't just
mhm,
say that, but actually show it.
mhm,
And I've realized that later on in my career, I've constantly been told, you're going to go far. You're such a hard worker. You're a fast learner. You're going to go far. And I've been hearing those words from people that could help me go far.
mhm,
So it was interesting to see that. And it's like, okay, well, no, that means you know what I bring to the table, but you're not
mhm,
going to kind of help me get there.
mhm,
So I think the people you're around make a huge difference. And
mhm.
you always want to be around people who want to see you succeed and thrive and do well, and um, mention you in a room full of opportunities.
Mhm. That's so good. Malik, thank you so much. I have so enjoyed our conversation, and I know that it will help someone else out there as well. It has helped me. So thank you so much again, and have a wonderful day.